So in this week's Torah portion, we speak about Bikurim. Bikurim is the first fruit that you bring to the Kohen in the Beis HaMikdash. We give thanks to God, and we say a prayer over there. And it has to be from the 7 species of fruit of Eretz Yisrael, of Israel. You cannot bring from outside of Israel or anywhere else. You have to bring from the best of fruits, the best of it also. You can't just bring your regular stuff. You have to bring the best. So it says, so there are different explanations that if you bring, if a poor person would bring it in a straw basket, the Kohen gets the straw basket too. If you brought it in gold and silver kalim vessels, it will not go to the Kohen. And there's different ways to explain the idea of Bikurim. It says if the Bikurim become Tameh, so the Kohen does not get also the vessels. So it's the same idea as the Bikurim and the vessels. Or you can say, no, the way you bring it is the mitzvah, not the giving, and so forth. So we know that the Jewish people are like Bikurim to God, the first fruit. Torah is like the Reishis Tvuasa, the beginning of the Tvua bringing. That is Teruma, Torah Mem. So basically it's as follows. Yidden Jews come before the Torah also. And Bikurim come before Teruma too. So we see over here as follows, that the Truma, why does Bikurim come before Truma? Because that's the way it is. Because Torah, Mem, Truma, is the Torah, and Yidden come before the Torah. The source of the Jewish people are before Torah, and therefore the Bikurim come before. And this goes on the source of the Neshama. The source of the Neshama is very high. And that's why it could be like Bikurim to Hashem. But the purpose is not up there. To have Bikurim is not enough. You need to be a vessel. To bring it into a vessel, that is the body. The body is the vessel of the Neshama, of the soul. So therefore, so we might think the whole purpose is way above in the spiritual worlds, that you don't need a vessel and so forth, the spiritual worlds. It has to come down here into a vessel. And that's the idea of the Bikurim also. It has to come into a vessel. You cannot just bring Bikurim by itself. Now a person can think, let me just work in the spiritual matters. Why not? I'll put on tefillin in my heart. I will keep Shabbos in my heart. I'll do everything in my heart, in my Ava V'yira. Spiritual ideas. But all spirituality is only a revelation of God. But down here is where God has His essence and where He wants to make a dwelling place down here. So therefore, when the neshama comes down into a body, the body gets elevated too. And that's our avodah. To come even in a straw, a vessel of straw which goes to the Kohen, even in that level, the lowest level of poorness and everything. Over there is the essence of God. And that's why Bikurim has to be brought into a vessel, and the vessel is very much needed when you bring the Bikurim, the first fruit. And that's why we have to do mitzvahs. Now, when we do mitzvahs, maisius, action, when we do action, asiyah gashmius, that elevates the soul also. And it has to be the lowest level. That means even of straw, a vessel of straw, a basket is made out of straw. That is the thing that does it. And we have to know as follows. That when we do mitzvahs, we elevate our soul also. And especially now, when we read it in the Torah, because Parsha Kisavi speaks about Bikurim, so when you come into Eretz Yisrael, you have to plan to work on it 6 days, and then afterwards become 6 years, and then you have Bikurim, the first fruit. Or however long it takes to get the first fruit. So when you learn about it, it is as if you bring it. And Be'ezah Hashem, by learning it, we'll have the third temple. And like it says, when you bring the Bikurim the first time, or the second time, or the third time, every year we say, Tishne L'Shana Haba, that the next year you'll also be able to bring. And Be'ez Hashem, this year will be in the third Beis HaMikdash imminently right now, and we will bring the Bikurim of Eretz Yisrael to the Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi, to the Kohen in the Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi. Long live our Master, Teacher, and Rebbe King Mashiach forever and ever. Long live our Master, Teacher, and Rebbe King Mashiach forever and ever. Long live our Master, Teacher, and Rebbe King Mashiach forever and ever.